Hello friends, in this session we will discuss about Vibrio cholera. Vibrio cholera is a gram-negative bacillus. Its basic morphology is that it is a comma-shaped bacterium. Small cocobacillary forms with a comma shape. When you see in the microscopy in gram stain, you can see small comma-shaped bacteria in the microscope. Vibrio cholera causes cholera. And actually Vibrio family is a big family. It has many species, and like Vibrio cholera, Vibrio parahemolyticus, Vibrio alginolyticus, Vibrio vulnificus, etc. And all the Vibrios, they have habitat of water. They live in water. They are natural inhabitants of sea water, and Vibrios are comma shaped. The genus Vibrio has more than 35 species, and out of them about 12 will infect human beings. And several Vibrios which live in the marine environments, they are called marine Vibrios. Based on salt tolerance, we can divide Vibrios into two categories. One is halophilic Vibrios and one is non-halophilic Vibrios. Halophilic Vibrios means those Vibrios which require high salt concentration for their growth. Example, Vibrio parahemolyticus and Vibrio vulnificus. While non-halophilic Vibrios are those which do not require high salt concentration and they will not grow in high salt concentration. Example, Vibrio cholera and Vibrio mimicus. Vibrio cholera is the major species which causes cholera, and out of all the Vibrio species, Vibrio cholera is the most common pathogen of human beings. Vibrios were classified by Gardner and Venkatraman into two categories. This is Gardner and Venkatraman classification of Vibrios. Group A, which contains biochemically similar Vibrios which have common H antigen. All these were grouped as Vibrio cholera. And Group B has biochemically and antigenically heterogeneous group of Vibrios. That is a separate category. Group A is Vibrio cholera, and it is again divided into various serotypes O1, O2, O3, O4 up to O139. Out of this O1 to O139, O1 and O139 are commonly causing cholera in human beings. In that also O1 is the most common. O1 can be divided into two varieties, classical and L-tor Vibrio, and both these classical and L-tor Vibrio are divided into three further biotypes, Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima. Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima means classical also has three subtypes, Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima, and L-tor also has three subtypes, Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima. Then the non-O1 may O139 is common and others are not significant for us. So this is Gardner and Venkatraman classification, which divides Vibrios into Group A and Group B. Group A is Vibrio cholera, which has two types in O1, classical and L-tor, which have three subtypes each, Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima. Vibrio cholera divided into two groups, O1 and non-O1. Those which did not react with O1 antiserum were given the label as non-O1, and Vibrio O1 is again divided into classical and L-tor. And how did the L-tor Vibrio arise? Initially there was only one type, that is classical Vibrio cholera. The Vibrio cholera that was present since centuries and which was classically causing cholera is known as classical Vibrio cholera. But at some time in Arabia, during Hajj pilgrims visit in Arabia, there was a different kind of Vibrio that was isolated, and it led to dysentery or gangrene of the colon. And this Vibrio was different from the classical Vibrio cholera. And since the name of the place was L-tor quarantine, the Vibrio was given the name L-tor Vibrio. And it was given the name L-tor Vibrio, and it is similar to the classical Vibrio with some differences, with some features different from the classical. Both this L-tor and classical Vibrio cholera, they are divided into three subtypes, Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima. The antigens of Ogawa serotype are A and B. The antigens of Inaba are A and C. The antigens of Hikojima are A, B and C. So when a strain is Ogawa, it will agglutinate with A and B antisera. Inaba will agglutinate with A and C, and Hikojima will agglutinate with both with all three A, B and C. Gram-negative bacilli, comma-shaped. They are motile with single polar flagellum. They are non-sporing and non-capsulated. Vibrio cholera have a darting type of motility. In liquid cultures, they may be arranged singly in pairs or in S shapes or spiral forms. And this darting motility is very fast movement. Very fast motility means about 200-300 micrometers per second it can move very, very fast. So fast that it is difficult to trace it when you see by naked eye. And fish in stream appearance is another property of Vibrio cholera. In stained films from mucus flakes of cholera stool, the Vibrios are arranged in parallel rows, and this looks like fish moving in a stream, so it is called fish in stream appearance. So in this page, remember three important points. They are comma-shaped with single polar flagella, they have darting motility, and they have fish in stream appearance in stain preparations from mucus flakes. In flagellar stain, you can demonstrate the flagella of Vibrio cholera like this: single polar flagella, comma-shaped Vibrios with single polar flagella. This is a video which shows darting motility of Vibrio cholera. Just focus on the scene very carefully. You can see some bacteria, they are moving very fast, which are like very difficult to trace. Those are Vibrio choleras. ये जो छोटा छोटा मूवमेंट हो रहा है वो सब नहीं है, लेकिन जो ब्लैंक एरिया में you can see some bacteria are moving very fast. They just appear and disappear. You can see on the left upper side in that blank area, some bacteria are just appearing and then immediately they disappear. So this is called darting motility of Vibrio cholera. Alright, बाकी ये जो रेगुलर मूवमेंट हो रहा है ना वो दूसरे बैक्टीरिया से है. For growing Vibrio cholera, what can be used? They grow on ordinary media. They are aerobes and facultative anaerobes. Generally, Vibrio cholera is aerobic. 16 to 40 degrees Celsius is the temperature range. pH range is 6.4 to 9.6. Highly alkaline pH is suitable for growth of Vibrio cholera. Sodium chloride requirement 0.5 to 1%. Most bacteria of human beings, they grow in pH around 7 के आसपास. So that is almost neutral pH जैसा. But for Vibrio, alkaline pH, pH 8, pH 9, they are suitable for its growth. Routine media, nutrient agar can be used. In nutrient agar, Vibrio cholera show translucent colonies. Generally, most bacteria, they give opaque colonies on nutrient agar. There are very few organisms which show translucent colonies, and Vibrio cholera has a peculiar translucent appearance on nutrient agar, and this appearance is useful for presumptive diagnosis of Vibrio on the culture plates. McConkey agar pe Vibrio cholera will show pale non-lactose fermenting colonies which may turn pink on prolonged incubation because Vibrio is late lactose fermenter. So generally lactose fermenting bacteria, they will show pink colonies in 24 hours, but those which are late lactose fermenters, they will initially show pale colonies, but after 48 hours or so they will start showing pink colonies. Vibrio cholera is one such bacterium, late lactose fermenter. So on prolonged incubation it will show pink colonies on McConkey agar. Blood agar, the classical strains do not produce hemolysis on blood agar, but some strains they produce hemodigestion, and because of it there is greenish discoloration around the colonies. L-Tor Vibrios, they usually produce hemolysis on blood agar. So classical strains do not produce hemolysis, while L-Tor Vibrios produce hemolysis. Here there is a picture of nutrient agar. It shows translucent colonies of Vibrio cholera, which is a characteristic appearance useful in diagnosis of Vibrio cholera. Here Mueller-Hinton agar is shown and blood agar is shown. In Mueller-Hinton agar also you can see translucent colonies, and in blood agar some greenish discoloration can be seen around the colonies, that because of hemodigestion. Selective media can be used for Vibrio cholera. TCBS medium and alkaline bile salt agar can be used. TCBS medium is thiosulfate, citrate, bile salt, sucrose with a pH of 8.6. The indicator used is bromothymol blue, and it is a very commonly used medium for Vibrio cholera isolation as a selective medium. It is a green colored medium, and in this green colored medium Vibrio cholera will show yellow colored colonies. Then another medium used as a selective medium for Vibrio cholera is alkaline bile salt agar, pH 8.2. It is a modified nutrient agar containing 0.5% sodium taurocholate. Look at the colonies here, they are yellow in appearance and the medium is green. The green colored medium is TCBS and the yellow colonies are colonies of Vibrio cholera. On prolonged incubation, the colonies can convert to green color. Transport media, Venkatraman Ramakrishnan medium and Kerry Blair medium are used as transport mediums for Vibrio cholera. Both of them have alkaline pH 8.6 to 8.8. In biochemical reactions, late lactose fermenter, it produces acid without gas. Lysine ornithine, arginine, lysine ornithine positive, arginine negative. Catalase and oxidase are positive. Important reactions are catalase and oxidase test. So remember, catalase positive and oxidase positive, and indole positive and nitrate positive both. And both these tests can be combined in the form of one reaction, which is known as cholera red reaction. In cholera red reaction, 24-hour broth of Vibrio cholera is mixed with concentrated sulfuric acid, and nitroso-indole formation will take place, and that nitroso-indole formation will lead to red color, and red color indicates positive cholera red test. And cholera red reaction is a combination of indole and nitrate both test, because इसमें nitroso-indole formation होता है. Besides cholera red reaction, there is one more test known as string test. In string test, the colonies of Vibrio cholera, when you mix them with a drop of sodium deoxycholate in saline, उसके बाद उसको जब लूप से पिकअप करने जाते हैं तो वो स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेशन हो जाता है, कॉलोनीज में से स्ट्रिंग जैसा फॉर्मेशन हो जाता है, तो उसको बोलते हैं स्ट्रिंग टेस्ट. तो मिक्सिंग द कॉलोनीज ऑफ Vibrio cholera with sodium deoxycholate in saline and then trying to pick up the colonies, it will form strings. So cholera red reaction and string test are two important biochemical properties of Vibrio cholera, besides catalase and oxidase. So catalase positive, oxidase positive, cholera red positive, and string test positive. Various virulence factors of Vibrio cholera are mentioned in this table. Many bacteria, they have toxins, enzymes, etc., many components which help them to spread the disease, to invade the tissues and to localize in the various tissues of the body. Here cholera toxin, which leads to hypersecretion of electrolytes and water. Then there is a pilus, which helps in adherence. For some adhesins are there, some exotoxins are there, then flagella is there for motility. So various virulence factors of Vibrio cholera are there. Remember the cholera toxin and the toxin co-regulated pilus. Then classical and Altor Vibrio cholera, they can be differentiated in 6 points. Hemolysis of sheep RBC, hemagglutination of chick RBC, VP reaction, polymyxin B sensitivity, phase 5 susceptibility and phase 4 susceptibility. These 6 tests are used for differentiation of classical and Altor Vibrio. Out of these 6 tests, 2 tests are positive in classical, polymyxin B sensitivity and phase 4 susceptibility, and other 4 tests are positive in the Altor, that is hemolysis of sheep RBC, hemagglutination of chick RBC, VP reaction and phase 5 susceptibility. Pathogenesis of cholera, incubation period is several hours to several days. Source of infection is feces and vomit of human cases or carriers. And how a human being will acquire the infection? By ingestion of contaminated food and water. Sequence of steps क्या है? So first the bacteria will come and settle on the intestinal epithelium. It will adhere. Adherence and colonization at the brush border epithelium of microvilli will take place. Then it will start secreting the cholera toxin. The cholera toxin secreted near the GM1 ganglioside receptors on cell membrane lining the villi and crypts of the small intestine. It will lead to activation of A1 subunit. The B subunit is for binding, and A subunit is the active subunit. And A again splits into A1 and A2. Okay. This activated A1 subunit will increase adenyl cyclase activity, which will increase cyclic AMP, and which will lead to inhibition of reabsorption of sodium, potassium and chlorine ions by the cells lining the villi. It will also lead to hypersecretion of chlorine and HCO3. Because of this, net loss of fluid and electrolytes will take place. This is the mechanism. Vibrio cholera attaching to the brush border microvilli, producing the toxin, cholera toxin, which will activate adenyl cyclase, which will increase cyclic AMP, which will lead to loss of fluid and electrolytes. A lot of fluid and water is lost in this. Host defenses. Gastric acid, mucus secretion and intestinal motility are prime non-specific defense mechanisms. Vibrio cholera are susceptible to the gastric acid. So if they are entering the intestine in small quantities, then they will be destroyed by the gastric acidity. At least 10 days to 7 Vibrio cholera are required to be able to cause cholera. Less than that dose, they are susceptible to gastric acid, so they might get destroyed. Mucus secretion, then intestinal motility are also defenses. Breastfeeding in endemic areas is important in protecting the infants from the disease. Disease results in effective specific immunity involving primarily the immunoglobulin IgA as well as IgG, and various antibodies against the enterotoxin are also formed. The stool sample in case of cholera is rice watery in appearance. It looks like rice water, and this is a characteristic feature of cholera stool. So like we saw characteristic feature of Vibrio cholera in microscopy, that was they look comma shaped and fish in stream appearance. Similarly in culture we saw that they had translucent colonies on nutrient agar. In biochemical reactions we saw that they had cholera red reaction positive, string test positive, catalase positive and oxidase positive. Similarly in the clinical features in the sample, when you see the sample macroscopically, it looks like rice watery in appearance, and this is a characteristic feature of cholera. Then in the clinical features, the infection can be asymptomatic, it can be mild or moderate, or it can even be severe. The most severe form is known as cholera gravis. Symptoms are because of the cholera toxin. That toxin leads to loss of fluid and electrolytes. Because of it, the person becomes dehydrated. Person can go into hypovolemic shock. There can even be septicemia in some cases. Patient can have vomiting, diarrhea, vomiting, hypovolemic shock, acidosis, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle cramps will be there because loss of potassium. Okay. For diagnosis of cholera, watery stool and mucus flakes from the stool will be taken. Even rectal swabs can be taken from contacts and carriers. Transport media, we saw VR medium and Carrier medium. Microscopy, hanging drop preparation is used for motility, and in that we can see darting motility of Vibrio cholera. Then comma shaped bacteria in gram stain. And in culture, nutrient agar, blood agar, TCBS selective medium which shows yellow colonies. Biochemical reactions, cholera red reaction, etc. And agglutination में serological test can be done. Agglutination with antisera can be done for Ogawa and Inaba A, B and AC. And if agglutination with Ogawa and Inaba both antisera appears, then it is called Hikojima. Carriers can be detected by some methods, because carrier can lead to epidemics of cholera. So Repeated stool culture is necessary as the Vibrio is excreted intermittently. It gives better result if stool is collected after administration of a purgative like magnesium sulfate or mannitol. Bile may also be examined after urinary intubation, and serological test is useful in detecting chronic carriers. And that completes the topic. Thank you.